July 17th. It's a Thursday. And what do we do on Thursdays?
Pop culture.
We do pop culture, and in case you are new to pop culture, this is where we talk about television, movies, all the things that are going around in, well,
if it's music,
pop culture.
if it's movies, if it's TV.
If it's anything, it's pop culture, and that's why we call the show that.
If it's Ricky Martin naked on a bus, we're probably not going to talk about that. Because I don't really want to see that.
So, anyways.
That's poppy.
There's another rumor in the rumor mill this week about Batman versus Superman, Superman versus Batman, the movie nobody ever cares about anymore at all.
Batman versus Superman versus everybody else in DC Comics because we're going to be the Justice League, but we're not going to say we're going to be the Justice League, but might as well be the Justice League because Wonder Woman's in here. And apparently so is
Doomsday, the man who kills Superman. In case you guys are unfamiliar with Doomsday, Doomsday was a very popular character back in the early 90s when he murdered Superman.
Right. Yeah, you might remember the comic book entitled
Death of Superman. Yeah, it was a very important. I still have a copy of it in the plastic cover, which has the torn logo.
That's where we got Silver Surfer Superman.
Well, you got Steel, you got Superboy, you got
Silver Surfer Superman. I'm sorry.
Okay, Silver Surfer Superman. He has no cosmic powers. He's just a dude in a suit. He's Iron Man for DC. That's really what he is. He was a poor ghetto Iron Man for DC.
He kind of was.
Now I'm not knocking it, but if you saw the Shaq movie, I'm pretty sure you're entitled to some form of $750 back.
Oh my God! You know that was on Stars the other day. I was flipping through and I was like,
"Of course it was," because they needed filler, and apparently nobody could find the copy of Kazam to play that day.
Yeah, there's another crapper. Whew. Shaq, what the hell, dude?
He loves money, and that's okay. If I was Shaq in the '90s and they were like, "Hey, Shaq, you want to do some movies?" I'd be like, "Yes, I do." Oh, sure. I get to be a genie? Yeah. I get to be a superhero? Yeah. I mean, that's things that even as a child I was like, yeah, I would love to do that.
My favorite Shaq acting to this day is in those Buick commercials.
Oh, he's so bad in those commercials. It's so bad.
He's so uncomfortable. It's like, it's got so much room. And like, you don't ever see him get in and out of the car because they have to jaws a life.
I'm pretty sure they actually just cut the car in half and glue it back together.
I think so.
That's what they do. That's how they get Shaq into that vehicle. They have like a crane that comes in and it's just a Shaq.
The Shaq crane. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Like, but there's so much room and his knees are like
all
right
scrunched
up.
It's just ridiculous.
So.
Oh, my God. So you wanted to talk about awards because we are heading into the awards season and we got some nominations.
So I'm not a huge awards person. I'll say that first.
I hate award shows.
I don't watch the Emmys.
I look at the aftermath.
But, that's what I do.
Because I do betting pools.
Watch out, HBO.
HBO, Netflix is coming for you. They are gunning for you. And if you don't get anything...
Orange is New Black just landed 12 Emmy nominations. One of which, by the way, is the first Emmy nomination ever for an openly transgender actor.
That is correct.
Or actress, I should say, in this case.
Piece of interesting information. The pre-surgery version of her was played by her twin brother, actually. So in season 1, they show the area where she is there with her wife,
right? And
they're talking, and this was before the operation had happened.
I didn't know
and it was played by her twin brother.
Oh,
and you would really never have known the difference. And I read a whole article on her the other day, so that was a piece of information in there.
So, and she's very good.
Very great. It was amazing actress. Amazing. And I'm actually almost done with the season. I think I have 2 episodes left. I'm going to get some heartbreak.
We got to talk when you're done.
Yeah, we'll probably discuss this next. We'll probably do an overall how we felt about the season. And
I've been waiting for you to finish this. I've been dying.
It's been my dessert show. It's a dessert show that I only allow myself small amounts of.
Very tasty.
So
and yes, the feels.
All the feels this season. I mean, all the feels.
But that's why I got 12 Emmy nominations.
And I can completely understand why. So
even Catherine Janeway got one.
Mm-hmm.
Red, Catherine.
Yep. I know.
But that's not the only Netflix show that got nominations. In
fact, really?
There's another one that got even more.
Okay, I'm gonna guess that was House of Cards.
Got 13 Emmy nominations.
Because where you at, True Blood?
Because Kevin Spacey. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I don't think Game of Thrones has had their announced their award.
Have you seen this show?
What?
House of Cards season 2?
No.
You gonna yell at me if I spoil the first episode?
I don't care. Go ahead.
All right. You haven't seen the first episode of season 2. We're at the 6-month mark at this point.
Yeah, so we're allowed to do whatever we want.
Pushes bitch off the train, like off in front of the train at the beginning of that show. Like 2 minutes in, the whiny, crazy girlfriend of his that he was having an affair with, the reporter chick.
I love how you're telling me this like I've seen the show and I know.
Oh. Have you never seen House of Cards?
Nope. 3-season rule, people.
You've seen
Orange is the New Black is different.
I was gonna say
it's different.
but you've seen.
I don't like,
TV,
but I don't like political stuff. Like I'm not.
And
into
you've
it.
also seen another show that's only had one season. The second season's just now coming out.
Hemlock Grove.
That's it.
But I saw Hemlock Grove because it's supernatural stuff, and I'm hugely into that. If it's about politics and stuff, I'm like,
It's Kevin Spacey.
I get it, but
It's Kevin and Spacey. Anyway, it's a
took
good
me
show.
3 seasons to watch Game of Thrones too.
Really?
did, yep.
That surprises me a little bit.
I didn't.
I gotta be honest.
I
that
didn't get
surprises
in
me.
until the 3rd season,
All right. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You're doing
and
it
now
right.
I'm an addict.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. Oh, speaking of which, did we talk about last week? Our tokens basically going.
oh, basically, what it is, George R. R. Martin said, if you think I'm going to die before I rate these books, then
He's
fuck
like,
you.
yeah,
and that's not me being ridiculous.
No,
that is literally the
quote.
quote.
That is the quote he said.
He said, "Fuck you." That's what he said.
There's a picture of him dropping two
Yeah.
birds at the same time, and
I believe he tweeted that picture too.
Yeah,
like, so it was him during an interview, and they got the screen cap of him flipping it off, and he was like, "This is how I feel about all of you."
You know what?
I say I'm down. That is one cantankerous old man that I would love to hang out with.
Oh hell yeah!
So
Any day of the week.
I'm pretty
Any
sure
day
because
of
you
the
guys keep
week.
saying he's gonna die before he writes these things, which I mean I'm guilty of as well, because he's not in good health.
No, he will live just to spite all y'all.
I think he will live to spite us, and he will kill so many Starks that there won't be any Starks left. There will be no Starks. He's just gonna kill every single character because.
Yeah.
So,
but it's good. I mean, so Orange is the New Black, 12, House of Cards, 13. HBO still has the most. But, with Showtime doing better, Ray Donovan is catching on. Homeland for Stars, that should be starting up pretty soon. And now Netflix coming up with a little bit of IP.
Netflix is gonna have new IPs coming every year. I'm calling it. They're gonna have a new show a year.
Yeah. Well, I
think they can afford it.
They can afford it now, definitely.
We raised it by $1. New shows for everyone.
Well, I didn't mean that, but yeah.
They were happier than the day Coke realized they could shuck bottled water to people out of a tap.
Dasani, y'all. Nasty.
Yeah. All right, so I saw a story that was about Bing, and I don't know why it's there, but I suppose we should talk about it.
So you might be thinking, this isn't a technology show.
No, but
This is a pop culture show. But apparently, someone did a research project to find out what search engine is better for movie show times.
Okay.
And apparently, Bing is better than Google.
which wigs me out because, as far as I know, Google they just get their information from Fandango and use your location to.
Well, and I think Bing does too. But that was going to bring me to my point. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who doesn't just use Fandango?
It's like, because I don't use Bing or Google.
I don't either. I Googled the Fandango page so I can go to
Or
Fandango.
I load the Fandango app up on my iPhone.
On the iPhone, exactly.
Because
Like,
it's there and it does things. And
I don't get it. I
but then
don't.
I read this article. I just started laughing. So I wanted to mention that because
Who wasted that much time?
And I want
Did you just have a project where you were like, I don't have any idea
And I
what
want to
I'm
ask
doing?
you guys, how do you find your movie show?
How do you guys? Do you guys call? Does anybody still call Movie Phone? Hi,
You
Movie
can't.
Phone. Really?
No, it's dead. It died.
Wow.
777.
Does
movie
anybody
died
know though?
last year.
And I don't know if anybody's old. I know you and I are
Yeah.
old enough to remember this. When you would actually call the theater, and then you would have to listen to all the
Yeah, oh, God,
pre-recorded
it
movie
took forever.
times. Like, and if you were, because there was no rhyme or reason to how they would read them to you, and like the movie you wanted to see was always the last one they read
Always
to you.
didn't matter what movie it was.
Didn't matter when it came out, how big it was. It
Always
was the
the
last
last-
movie.
always the last
And you're on the
one.
phone for like 6 minutes. Oh, and it so help
Yeah,
you
it
if
was
you
like
walk away from the
movie you
phone
don't
for a
give two shits
second.
about 9:45, 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30, 10:40. How many show times does this have?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And finally, The Matrix.
The
starring
movie
Keanu
would
Reeves.
have been over by the time they got to reading you the movie time.
Yeah, I remember those days. I totally remember those days. So, which is why we loved Movie Phone.
And that's why I love Fandango.
And that's
it's
why
right in front of me.
So I'm curious, what do you guys do? What do you
What do you guys do out there?
do you
Is
Bing
anybody
or
non-Fandango?
Google your showtime?
Because you're doing it wrong if you are. But I still want to know. I'm curious.
Even if you don't buy your tickets with Fandango.
I don't buy my tickets with Fandango.
I do sometimes.
Well,
Big shows.
It's
I'll pay the $2 to make sure I get a ticket.
yeah. I've not been to a sold out movie since Star Trek.
Yeah, but that does
So-
happen occasionally.
Yeah, it does. But there's so many.
Oh, and here's another question I'm going to go ahead and ask them while we're out there.
Okay.
How do you guys actually buy your tickets at the damn box office?
Instead of using the automated
kiosk
kiosk.
inside.
Yeah, I use the kiosk.
Because there's like 9,000 people outside. There's 4 people in front of the kiosk.
maybe If that. It's like people just shy away from these things. It's the same thing when I go to Walmart and I see people at the line and I'm like, the self-checkouts are out. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not trying to work at Walmart though.
I mean, I love the self-checkouts everywhere because chances are I'm in and out. And I know, beep, boop, I'm done, scan my card, I'm out. Peace. And you're still standing in line behind the lady trying to buy 2
Well, I don't
cartons of
shop at
cigarettes.
Walmart, but-
But this is anywhere.
I'm
Food
with you.
City, Kroger.
I do self-checkout at Kroger. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, self-checkout's where it's at. And I'm not trying to get people fired out of jobs or anything like that, but I love
Because
robots.
I will say this: there are days I don't self-checkout. It does happen occasionally.
Yeah.
You know, especially if I have a lot of produce. I just hate. I don't feel like.
If I have more than 12 items, I'm not going to be that jerk who pulls the big cart up to the self-checkout.
Right.
Because that's rude.
Right.
Self-checkouts are pretty much an express lane.
Right. Yeah, or if you have a lot of produce. Because
and you got to punch the numbers in.
Weigh it.
Nope, not
I'll
doing
let
it.
the lady behind the counter do that.
I'm not
nice,
trying to do
She's
work.
always friendly and she talks and says hello. And then the guy bagging your groceries, he's real nice too. And,
Truth.
Give him a quarter.
Give him a quarter. What is this, 1929? Here you go, lad. Don't spend it all in the same place. Take it down to the malt shop.
Yeah, see, get yourself.
I don't know. Maybe you're a high roller, Daddy Warbucks. Come on.
No. It's all good.
So, in other news, Pacific Rim 2 is coming. This is slated for April 7th, 2017. They actually put a date on it.
I'm excited. I'm excited to laugh at this movie too.
Well, we're gonna get 2 other Del Toro movies apparently in the meantime. One of which has been slated to be a black and white film, which we know nothing about. My assumption it will be some form of indie or noir type movie because Del Toro is huge about he's kind of like Tarantino where he goes and grabs a style or an old type and does an homage to a film. And nobody will call it, but Pan's Labyrinth was a total homage film. Yeah. And that's just. But the biggest thing is linking Pacific Rim 1 and 2. There will be an animated series that's being shopped around to bridge the gap between 1 and 2. My assumption is it'll be some form of anime style because it'll have to be.
And at this point, Yahoo might buy it.
Yahoo might buy it because they bought Community, and I don't even know if that's maybe just because like they wanted it or they thought it was going to get hits to the website. I think it'll get a lot of hits and a lot of publicity.
I think it's hits. I think it's publicity.
But I think publicity because they got the money to do it. I mean, I hate to admit that, but Yahoo
Marissa Myers is not an idiot.
No,
she knew what she was doing.
And they waited the last second, and I guarantee you they like scraped the bottom of the barrel of price on that thing. Because everybody who was in that show wanted to keep doing the show.
Because everybody who watches the show wanted them to keep doing the show. I'm looking at you, NBC.
We may get a movie. Who knows? You said I wasn't going to get a last...
5 seasons of Yahoo and a movie.
Well, this will be season 6.
Yeah, well,
so,
I call it a Yahoo.
I'm just... Yeah, okay, yeah. That's... So, I want to see how the product placement's going to do this. So, is every web search they do on the show now going to be a Yahoo web search? Yeah. Is that...
Oh, yeah, you know what? Even better... Like, you know when they did the Subway sandwiches?
Subway's for Chuck.
Right.
Because there was a sandwich every 5 minutes in that show.
Yeah, so... I could see like a technology.
Well, Psych did the same thing, but they did do it with Subway. I think it was Subway with Psych too. Yeah. So why didn't Subway bring back Community? Subway was already in Community. Subway does a lot of television ad. That's weird. They took over Greendale. Yeah. Weird. It was so I think you got one more left, right? Yeah.
Well,
you wanted to talk about John Oliver?
I just want to talk about John Oliver. So there's this little show on HBO.
We've talked about it before.
It's called Last Week with John Oliver, and it's funny as balls.
It is absolutely hilarious. It's basically
it is everything the Daily Show would be if the Daily Show were on HBO.
Yeah, and they were once a week.
Yeah. Right, they're once a week. I say that because first of all, I'm not knocking the Daily Show. I love Jon Stewart. I mean, I can't say that I don't love Jon Stewart enough because the man's funny as hell.
He's hilarious.
He's intelligent as hell. But you know who else is really smart and really funny?
John Oliver. And he's got that dry British,
crazy
quirky...
dry. Like when he covered the FIFA tournament, he's like, but you know what? England's out, so I don't give a ball. It's like...
He also delivered the first time that show went viral was when he talked about the internet fast lane situation and why the government should have zero control over that.
He kind of single-handedly broke the mailbox. Well, he also
right
broke their mailbox too.
Yeah, I mean that was ridiculous.
Their website went down right after that.
48 hours.
They have over 700,000 emails.
And they have to go through and read every single one of those, y'all, before any single piece of litigation can be passed.
Yay.
Y'all knocked it out. Which, by the way, they did try and repass the CISA.
Well, yeah, they took the P out, hoping no one
would know. And it's everybody's like, Y'all just took a letter out. What are you doing?
Well, they took a letter out and managed to make it worse.
Yeah, they made it
is
way worse.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, it's the authority the NSA has for surveillance. You should go look
on
that
the
up.
internet.
You should go look that up on the internet
And find out how much of your information is already readily available for the internet to just kind of do whatever they want to with it.
But John Oliver, when he did everything he attacks in a very John Oliver way.
It's a very snarky manner.
It's the only way I can describe it. When he did, he had Bill Nye the Science Guy on his show. He's had Stephen Hawking on his show.
That's a big deal.
Not a faked interview.
No, it was real.
It was really
legit,
Stephen Hawking. And having Stephen Hawking make fun of John Oliver.
Yeah, I was going to say, he mocked John Oliver, and that was really good. That was a big one on Reddit.
It was so it was awesome.
Yeah.
With the climate change, he goes, let's do this proportionately. So he had 3 anti-climate change people come out, beside Bill Nye. And then 96 other scientists to come out and show the actual... And that's the thing I like about John Oliver. Yes, it's satire. Yes, he's funny.
But he's got some actual information to back him up.
And that's why I said he's a lot like Jon Stewart.
Because Jon Stewart's all about the facts.
Because
with the funny.
The facts with the funny, yeah. I mean, it's, although you shouldn't get your news from these shows.
You shouldn't get all of your news from these shows.
But you should watch them.
You should absolutely watch them.
Because they will make you think, they will make you laugh, they will make you cry because you're laughing, not because it's sad.
No. It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Gutturally just...
I mean, yeah. So if you don't have HBO, I'm sorry.
Borrow a friend's. Their CEO said that was totally cool. If you got a HBO Go, let a friend borrow it because their CEO said that was totally cool.
Do you know why he said that, though?
Because he wants people to...
He wants people to buy HBO. Because, he knows that enough...
Subscription HBO's coming.
Yeah, and he knows that enough people get interested. He can go to Comcast. He can go to Time Warner. He can go to AT&T.
I would pay what I would have to pay for Comcast.
Yeah,
just for HBO.
Right, a lot of people would. And it'll only be about $10.
That's fine.
I think it's going to be about... I think they're going to target $8 or $9.
There's one other thing that I have to talk about that's huge. Hulu just got some exclusive streaming rights to a huge library and a very important show.
For a short amount of time, if you're talking about South Park.
I am. Netflix had it, and then it got pulled. Now, you can also watch them all on SouthParkStudios.com, which was a pirate site that Trey and Matt was like, you know what, just screw it, buy them out and put it on there.
Yeah.
Well, now, and I'm not sure how this is going to affect South Park Studios, but Hulu is going to gain access to the entire back catalog
library
and
up
new
until
episodes.
The next season starts. And then, and this is where it gets a little bit murky. So I think at that point, Hulu Plus people will still be able to watch the entire library. And everyone else will be able to watch this season plus a little bit of the one before.
I have no clue how they're going to work
I'm
that.
still trying to figure that out.
But that's a big deal.
Oh, it's huge. It's massive for Hulu. Maybe this is why they didn't buy Community. Maybe they were busy spending all this money.
I'm actually thinking about signing up for a little Hulu Plus action just so I can go back and watch all the episodes.
I do subscribe to Hulu Plus because I can watch it on my phone. I can watch it on my iPad. I can watch it on my Apple TV. So, it's...
Yeah, and they have an Xbox One app now, so I can check that out.
Well, that took long enough. I'm glad they got that done.
Me too. Is there anything else you want to cover before we roll out?
No, that's it. I mean, that's I'm pop culture out. I just wanted to express my love for John Oliver today.
Absolutely. It's a great show. You guys should really check it out. HBO Go last week with John Oliver.
HBO, just really quickly, the Newsroom is coming back for its final season.
I heard that there was a lot of question about that.
Well, so they had confirmed it, then they had maybe
no, just kidding, because filming schedules are getting weird.
But it is confirmed. It is coming back.
One last season.
And it will be not many episodes.
No, I think they're doing 13 or 10.
Maybe even less. I'm
okay.
At 8 maybe.
It's the shorter seasons of HBO stuff is anywhere from 8 to 10 generally.
But I want to say Q1 next year. I can't remember the dates now, but it'll
probably be March, April.
Yeah.
So because they got to roll that in with their summer shows, and of course they're going to bring back that. You know why? Because no more True Blood.
Well, and I think that's part of what it is. While they fill the gap
while they find a new IP because they already had American Gods, I think, ripped out of their hands again by A&E. So A&E is going to have Preacher and American Gods, unless HBO did pull the deal off, which I don't actually remember.
Saul's coming.
So Better Call Saul's coming. That's going to be on, which is going to take place actually before, during, and after Breaking Bad.
This weird, which makes me happy, and you know why it makes me happy? Because we're going to get to see Bryan Cranston occasionally. That's what
true.
That means.
That is true.
Just FYI.
Stars picked up Neil Gaiman's American Gods. So Don't let your stuff get robbed, HBO. You guys had it for a long time. You couldn't do anything with it, and Starz slipped in, and they're going to do what Starz always does.
Speaking of Starz, they're going to ruin it if they're not
They're going to give me 2 seasons of something I love, and then they're going to cancel it.
Well, and this is just one more thing about Starz. I read this recently. 50 Shades of Grey, which I've never seen, don't plan to see, couldn't care less.
Isn't that a movie that's coming out, too?
It's going to be a movie coming out. It's a book. It was going to be a movie. It was almost a Starz miniseries.
Ugh.
FYI.
Boo, no one cares.
Seriously.
All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're actually going to be talking to the best of, and the best of is going to be top 5 cheesy horror films.
We're talking super cheesy.
Super cheesy. I think our lists are going to be very different, so stick around, see who you agree with, and let us know who you think has the better top 5.
And in the meantime, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and give us a call at 480
Stupid 9.